As soon as we saw what we were in for, we had thrown dry wood onto the fire, and it blazed just as the rain came down. So with our assistance, it fought a good fight with its fellow elements, spitting and hissing like a wild cat. It could have managed the water fairly well, but the wind came, very nearly putting an end to it by carrying away its protecting bough house, which settled on Professor Kefala, who burst out in a lecture on the foolishness of mountaineering and the quantity of devils in this region. Just in the midst of these joys, another boy came through the bush with another demijohn of water. We did not receive him even civilly. I burst out laughing, and the boys went off in a roar, and we shouted at him, "Where them chop? He live for come," said the boy, and we then gave him a hearty welcome and a tot of rum, and an hour afterwards 2 more boys appear, one carrying a sack of rice and beef for the men, and another a box for me from Herr Lieber, containing a luxurious supply of biscuits, candles, tinned meat, and a bottle of wine and 1 beer. We are now all happy, though exceedingly damp, and the boys sit around the fire with their big iron pot full of beef and rice, busily cooking while they talk. Wonderful accounts of her prodigies of valor I hear given by Zena, and terrible accounts of what they have lived through from the others, and the men who have brought up the demijohns and the chop recount the last news from Wea. James' wife has run away again. I have taken possession of the 2 demijohns of water and the rum demijohn, arranging them round the head of my bed. The worst of it is those tiresome bees. As soon as the rain is over, come in hundreds after the rum, and frighten me continually. The worthless wretches get intoxicated on what they can suck from round the cork, and then they stagger about on the ground, buzzing malevolently. When the boys have had the chop and a good smoke, we turn to and make up the loads for tomorrow's start up the mountain. And then, after more hot tea, I turn in on my camp bed, listening to the soft, sweet murmur of the trees and the pleasant, laughing chatter of the men. September 25th. Rolled off the bed twice last night into the bush. The rain has washed the ground away from under its off legs, so that it tilts, and there were quantities of large, long acorn beetles about during the night, the sort with spiny backs. They kept on getting themselves hitched on to my blankets, and when I wanted civilly to remove them, they made a horrid fizzing noise, and showed fight, cocking their horns in a defiant way. I awake finally about 5 a.m., soaked through to the skin. The waterproof sheet has had a label sewed onto it, so it is not waterproof, and has been raining softly but amply for hours. About 7, we are off again with Zena, headman, cook, Morovia boy, and a laborer from Wea. The water carriers have gone home after having had their morning chop. We make for the face of the wall by a route to the left of that I took on Monday, and when we are clambering up to it, some 600 feet above the hillocks, swish comes a terrific rainstorm at us, accompanied by a squealing, bitter cold wind. We can hear the roar of the rain on the forest below, and hoping to get above it, we keep on, hoping, however, is vain. The dense mist that comes with it prevents our seeing more than 2 yards in front, and we get too far to the left. I am behind the band today, severely bringing up the rear, and about 1 o'clock I hear shouts from the vanguard. When I get up to them, I find them sitting on the edge of one of those clefts or scars in the mountain face.